Captain. We are about to attempt a crash landing. Please extinguish all cigarettes. Place your tray tables in their upright lock position. Your captain says, put your head on your knees. Captain says, put your head in your hands. Captain says, put your hands on your head, put your hands on your hips. This is your captain. We are going down. We are all going down together. And I said, uh-oh, this is gonna be someday. Stand by. This is the time. And this is the record of the time. This is the time. And this is the record of the time. This is your captain again. You know, I've got this funny feeling I've seen this all before. Why? 'Cause I'm a caveman. Why? 'Cause I've got eyes in the back of my head. Why? It's the heat. Stand by. This is the time. And this is the record of the time. This is the time. And this is the record of the time. Put your hands over your eyes. Jump out of the plane. There is no pilot. You are not alone. Stand by. This is the time. And this is the record of the time. This is the time. And this is the record of the time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drift Radio. Hi to everyone on the live stream, in the camera. Hello. And hi to everyone who's here in the flesh. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for coming, spending your Saturday with us. My name is Mads, and I am a radio DJ and presenter here from Copenhagen. And today I have the great honors of interviewing someone who I love dearly. Also who's someone who I really admire and have gotten really close to in the past year or so. She is a composer with Danish-Scottish roots. And later this year, actually in 2-3 weeks, she's releasing a new album. It's called World of Work. Everyone who is here, give a round of applause for Clarissa Connelly. Hello, Clarissa.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Well, today I'm very happy to be here and to talk with you. It's a great honor, both as your friend and that we can talk about music together. That's something, I really feel grateful for. So I'm just looking forward to listen to your very interesting questions, I'm sure, and hopefully I can answer them. And hope that we come into some topics that make sense and that we feel we can dive into in depth during this hour. So thank you for inviting me, also Drift Radio.
Yes, massive thank you to Drift. Clarissa, last night I received a text from you, which was like very descriptive of how you release music in general, which was like, every piece of music is a body of work. And this new album called World of Work, what kind of world are you trying to portray here or describe here?
That's a funny question, actually, because I have tried to portray the world as we know it through different states, but in an kind of like inspired by epic novels, and I wanted to write an album that goes through all the steps we have in life. There's songs of innocence and there's songs of experience in the album, quoting William Blake also. But so I wanted to start with life as the beginning and the great death, with the album ending with the apocalypse, to make it like a bigger story instead of the personal death that we all experience in one way or the other. So the album is a world of work, but also the world as we know it, that I wanted to make into a kind of miniature model, going through different steps in life. And of course I'm not like dead yet, so I can't say what life will be like, but the questions that I have and hopefully others also have in life. Yeah.
And in the same text, I asked you which songs you wanted to listen to today, and you said you can pick and choose whatever you want. I can talk about all of them.
Yeah.
So today you're selfishly gonna listen to some of my favorites on the album. And I think, Clarissa, we should begin where you begin.
Yeah.
The first opening track on the album. I think you should introduce it.
Yeah, so the first track is the beginning of the world, where two characters that are present during the whole album. One of the characters are called Work, and they represent the profane everyday life, saying that this is the physical world as it is, and there's nothing beyond that. We go to work, we go home from work, everything is in this physical realm. So the first character says, we were born into loneliness, and we will die into loneliness. So that's like the very, not very positive, but a very like, that's the Work, the character of Work. And then the other character doesn't really have a name, but I started calling it Desire. But it can also just be called holy, or the spiritual, or the other character represents the part of me and the part of others that maybe think that there is something magic in the world, and it doesn't have to be a specific religion. But when we experience music or art or love, maybe we do believe in the magic in the world. So they talk to each other, and Desire, or what, the holy, or what you can call it, the other character says, no, we were born into love, and into holiness. So that's the theme throughout the whole album. They talk to each other, and this song is the two characters start in this song talking to each other. So yeah, that's a good place to start.
Yes. So it's first play in the world. This is the opening track.
Yes, yeah.
Into This Cold Loneliness. Into This Cold Loneliness from the brand new record from Clarissa Connelly, World of Work. This is the first meeting between the two characters, work and desire. Would you say that they are clashing at in the record and in the progress of making this record, or did you find kind of a symbiosis between the two?
Well, that's a really good question.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, I think they represent two perspectives in my own life and in myself, and they of course do collide or they clash into. But when I'm mostly hopeful, it's definitely what desire represents. But it is desire is they're both extreme. So like they're both extreme. So hopefully they collide during the record actually for like what they stand for. It's like setting like really setting up the scene very strictly, and that's why they had to be so. The characters had to be so extreme, representing each side of how we can all our feelings sometimes, and how we feel like what the world looks like. It can look really different from how we feel and what we've experienced. So it's really put on in extreme, of course, but hopefully they collide throughout the album, because that's how it's in the middle where we often are actually. Yeah.
And you mentioned holiness in this song as well. Would you say that you're a spiritual person, or maybe even religious? And if so, does that play a role into the album?
I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I was raised in a very strictly Catholic home, and or strict Catholic home, and I stopped believing in God when I was very young, and so I don't know. I think I'm trying to ask these questions on the album. It's not that I have the answer at all, but it's definitely questions I want to keep asking. And that's one of the foundations of the record. So yeah, I can't say, but but I want to wonder. Yeah.
And maybe feel connected to things, nature, magic, people, desire, love.
Yeah, exactly. But it's whether that is when we have great experiences through music or through love, through it could be anything, through prayer, through like running, or when we feel ecstasy, dancing. It can be all kinds of experiences. Is that then magic, or is it just our brain getting a rush of endorphins? That's the question, if there is magic or not.
And I want to touch upon a thing that I know is very near to your heart as well, before we move on to the next song, which is one of the singles we have heard already, Life of the Forbidden. When you released this track, you did a very emotional, to me at least, post about what the state of the world looks like and what it's like to put out something that you have worked on for a while into a world that feels like it's falling apart. We are in the middle of a genocide, and there's a lot to feel anxious about. There's a lot to feel depressed about as well. I guess that what I'm trying to say is I imagine that it's really hard to promote yourself in a time such as this, where you feel as though the information you should be sharing could always be more like important than a record or a song or whatever. How do you navigate that in like staying true to the creativity that lives within you and the actual work you've put into this record, while still being very scared of what's happening in the world?
Yeah, well, that is something that's really, really difficult to navigate in, because there is something of much more importance than what what my doing in creativity is, but I think it is important to do it. You have to keep doing your work, and you have to, my platform is also a place where I do my work. If I had a private platform and had a job on the side or something, then maybe I would use my platform, and it is Instagram that I mostly use. Then I would use it probably differently. But to be in this world, and I have to work to be able to use my voice, and I know it's that's what we all have to do. We have to keep using our voice to say what is not right, and when it is right, what is right too. And that is all our jobs. If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, and I think that during critical times, if you look throughout history, we need hope, and we need dreams, and we need fantasies, and we need music. Like, one of the last things that essentially bring us closer together instead of separating us is listening to music and connecting through music and film and literature and stuff like that. But I think that more than ever, it is really important that if you have a platform, don't neglect why you have the platform. Like, keep going and doing what you do. As you say, like, had you worked in a bank, you couldn't like decide to not show up at work because there's this stuff happening in the world. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and I want to say that I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of you for handling it the way that you have. And let's listen to the song that really indicated this whole conversation. And listen to the lyrics, it's so beautiful. This is Life of the Forbidden.
Strangely does the water in the river flow, like morning I've cut you off, changing in the tides of rhythm flow. I'm poured out than never before, and I ask, are you crucified? Are you forgiven? Have you lived the life of the forbidden? Well, I've tried and tried, but couldn't. Is the grace below the heaven? I know once we die, it's given, but the most and more given. Children, and I have so much to tell them, but I know the sky is turning and the ground beneath is burning, and I've tried and tried to warn them, but there's no one here. Strangely does the water in the river. 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 Strangely does the seas beat, strangely does the waters in the strangely does the wind floating morning light. Broken eyes crucified, are you given? Have you lived the life of the forbidden? When I've tried to shoot us, is this race close to heaven? I don't want to spray diamonds given, but there must be more
Life of the Forbidden. Clarissa, is there a line in this song that, or maybe more than one line in this song that you feel is important right now, or that you hope people will linger on to when they listen to this song?
Well, it was. It definitely started to rumble in my brain when because I wrote this song a while ago, of course, and even the crisis that we're in now, humanity. There's been a crisis. I'm sorry, I can't hear myself. I'm going to turn on. There's been, of course, many crises, and the future looks bleak, and did also 2 years ago, and 1 year ago, and yeah. So I was pretty surprised when I read through the lyrics again, because I had nearly forgotten. It was when releasing the song, I heard it again. Yeah, and in the second chorus that you've maybe heard, I also posted about it because I had to talk about it. Yeah, it came really close to what's going on right now in the genocide going on. So, yeah. I had to mention that when releasing the song. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we should just keep going. So much beautiful music to listen to. The next track that I very selfishly again chose is The Excess of Sorrow Laughs. That's quite a title, I think. That's probably my favorite song on the album. It's a song that really stuck with me from the first time I heard it. I think, sonically speaking, in general, throughout this record, I hear a different tone to your voice, a different tone to the environment that lives within the music. There's church bells, there's a bunch of different layers to it, and this just feels so dense to me. Like, there's so many like visual trips that I go on whenever I listen to this song. A track that I really, really can't wait to see you perform live as well. How did that song come about?
Well, yeah, this is also a song that represents the extreme, like saying the excess of sorrow, it laughs, and the excess of joy often cries, as we all know. And we've experienced that. Yeah, it came a very early morning. I've been talking actually to Fina about this using the first take.
Who is here, by the way?
Because it's really fun when if you get up really early and just start singing, whatever comes out can be like really like it can just, the moment, and it's funny when recording music because those moments can be captured. So the first verse is actually recorded like 6 o'clock in the morning, because we had a group together with other composers here in Copenhagen and talked about each other's music and gave each other feedback. And we had like a deadline that morning. We had a meeting at 9 o'clock, and it was during COVID. So we were like going on Zoom together. So I had to finish like just something, and then I recorded it, and then it turned out to be the first verse of the song. And of course, the idea of the song wasn't there yet. But maybe you can hear it on the way I'm singing. It's not even in time of the guitar, and it's like totally. And sometimes I like when each part of a song can be like mushed together but written separately. So chords are written separately from the melody, but then you have to like force them together, and maybe change a note or something if it's totally off, but write them in two different stages, two different times, and then just like force them together. That's what I did on this song. So it seems like they're written in two different worlds, kind of, to emphasize the theme of the album. Yeah.
And would you say it's more of the character work or the character desire that we meet on this track?
Yeah, well, I'm asking on this track, I'm asking, what if death is false alarm? And that's not saying, because death is, of course, alarming. But that's the theme of this song. It's halfway through the album, where the questions of the ending, of the great ending, of the personal death and the collective death, start rumbling around. So that's the theme of the song.
Let's hear it. The Excess of Sorrow Laughs, here from the brand new record with Clarissa Connelly. And you're listening to Drift Radio. There we go.
Why you said you fall me now? What is dead never returns? Why you said you fall me now? The excess of such joy What if death is false alarm? The excess of sorrow born to love. The excess of joy cry.
I really think that like if the record is a journey, this is like the neverland of the journey. It feels so impactful, and it has both like quite the dramatic escalation of how the track builds, but then it also just becomes so quiet and whispery in the end. I really love this song. This is one of the tracks where you sing "When the Sky Turns," which is, I guess, a theme throughout the album. You sing it multiple times. Why was that context really important for this record, and what does it mean, basically?
Yeah, so I'm asking on this song, or here I'm confirming this is like the more experienced point of view in this song, asking these questions of death, and also saying, I was there, the character of this song is like, I was there when the sky turned, and all my fears were confirmed, and did we then seize the higher? Saying when everything ends, when we die or when the world ends, are we then going to seize the higher or believe in a greater beauty or whatever you can call it?
Is it an afterlife you're talking on?
No, not an afterlife. Just a greater beauty. I don't know how to say it in other words. Yeah, that's how I can explain it best. But yeah, so when the sky turns, or when the sky turns is saying when the world is going to end. Being in a time with, I know it's a bit intense, but yeah, being in a time with, like, growing up with the crisis of biodiversity and nature being totally destroyed. That is like one of the greater beauties of the world, I think. That makes we're asking these questions within ourselves, and when deciding to have children or not, or like, we ask these questions. I think, and everybody does. So when the sky turns is a way to like put it on, like explaining the apocalypse in one sentence, because I think that picture of the sky turning is very apocalyptic. Yeah.
It is. I think we should listen to a song and then talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Let's try something new. This is also an exclusive from the new album. This is the track Tenderfoot.
I didn't know you, oh honey. What a way to start, what a way to start this journey. I saw your face on an early winter's day. I would have told you, more honey. What a way to go, what a way to go. There's dangers far ahead, loading tenderfoot. You didn't see me though, more honey. It's a lonely road, it's a lonely road. And this early morning song will carry sorrows to come. Well, if I find you more honey, how will you know? How will you know I'm present, not the dead, singing this tender song. You didn't see me though, more honey. It's a lonely road, it's a lonely road, and this early morning song will carry sorrows to come.
You are tuned into Drift Radio. If you're with us on the live stream, thank you for being here. And again, thank you to everyone who made their way here in Copenhagen. This was a track from the brand new Clarissa Connelly album, World of Work, out 12th of April through Warp Records. This song, Tenderfoot, talk us through it. What kind of role does that play on the album? And maybe give it a character. Is it the work or is it desire?
Yeah, so Tenderfoot is the tenderfoot, if that makes sense. The unexperienced is it's the innocence. So it's the child not knowing what world they're stepping into. Also the child we have within ourselves. But so there's like one more experience saying, I should have told you. There's danger far ahead, and that's luring you, tenderfoot. Saying, so saying that you can use the song to guide way through the world. So yeah, tenderfoot is singing to the child within us that needs guidance and love, and also experience through life. Yeah.
Would you say that this is one of the songs where you really can feel the Scottish roots? Or no?
I'm not sure. Probably. I'm looking at a Scotsman over here. I'm not. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. But definitely there's a folk song in it.
Hidden in it.
Hidden in it.
We have one more song to play here today from the new album, and then after that we'll just play some music that isn't you. Crucifier.
Crucifer. Yeah.
Crucifer.
Yeah.
That almost feels like a character as well. And it feels like a reference to Life of the Forbidden. It's a very referential album to itself, I think. It has a pattern, and even when it breaks free of the pattern, it kind of transpires back to the same topics and the same subjects that you talk about. Crucifer, as the last song that we're going to listen to from the album, elaborate on that a bit and what that song is about.
Yeah, so Crucifer is about it's like a word play of of crucifix and Lucifer, but it's a word that is in, you know, it's a real world word too. But it's about it's the character in life too, and within ourselves, or like a part of us that wants to bear the burden of, like, and now, like, in this tale I wrote, The World of Work, I wanted to emphasize each character. Yeah, it's a bit extreme, but it's like bearing the cross. And we have that also, that part of ourselves that somehow carry too big of a burden through life. And that's the character that I'm trying to kill in this song. Saying, Crucifer, your days are over, and that you have to let go, but you won't let go, and whatever. Crucifer is on a journey throughout the song. You can listen to the lyrics when we hear it. But so it's like the idea of expecting that we have to go through life bearing a burden upon ourselves, that I don't think is true. And but that I've maybe been raised with, and many others, or yeah, I'm not sure, but I can definitely identify with it in some way, and think that yeah, there's not room for that. And you could also, like, emphasize it even more and say that the church has to die as we know it. I'm sorry. That's a bit extreme, but
Leaving on a high note
yeah.
here.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of like killing Jesus on this song, with the Jesus within ourselves. No, let's listen to it. Sometimes I exaggerate a lot, but yeah, it's also just a song, you know. So let's just hear the song, maybe.
But before we do that, Clarissa, thank you so much for the
Thank you.
generosity. Thank you for being here. I want to let everyone know that World of Work is out April 12th through Warp Records. You've listened to some exclusives today, which you are not able to stream yet, but there are singles out from the album already. So please go have a listen. And thank you, Drift Radio. Thank you, Anton. And this is the last song, Crucifer, from Clarissa.